Well, my mother was a registered nurse and my father was a doctor. As a young child, I would go to watch my father do surgeries. I practiced on oranges and dolls, you know, giving shots. I was a graduate of Plan 2, liberal arts, in 1961. I had entertained the idea of going into medical school, but got no support from anyone, including my parents. They all felt like that was too hard of a field to enter as a female. And in those days, you know, women mostly were secretaries, nurses, school teachers, but everybody got married and had children. So I spent 10 weeks at Walter Reed Army Hospital as a medical student, where I got exposed to fields that I had no knowledge about, one of which was ophthalmology. And during that exposure time, I decided then and there I was going to be an ophthalmologist. Most of the residencies, if not all that I encountered, had never taken a woman and never planned to. Women were criticized for taking up a good man's seat in the medical classroom and not using the education. And so I think a lot of the prejudice against women was because of that, and I was not going to allow myself to be in that category. Once I decided to go down that path in medicine, I chose that I would not let anything get in my way to be able to practice it. I chose not to have children. I've stuck to that choice. And I married really at the end of my training. I didn't even want marriage to get in my way. I don't know why I was different, but I was. I stayed on the staff at MD Anderson for 7 years. I had an opportunity to go to Kenya, East Africa, and do cataract surgery with a group, and there was no paperwork, there was no insurance companies, there were no lawyers. It was all about helping people. The surgical instruments were washed and then dried in the sun. You know, there was no autoclaves. And we had generators, you know, and then when the generators were finished, then there was no more surgery that day. It was very primitive surgery, very primitive conditions, and these people walked 20, 25 miles just to come, and every day the lines were longer. And every day we just worked and worked and worked until we couldn't work anymore. You know, we get a really good education at the University of Texas, and I feel like you get also the need, the obligation to do something for the community. I am Sue Ellen Young Knolle. I have been a Longhorn for 54 years. Hook 'em horns.